So first of all, thank you so much for being here with us in this event. My first question would obviously be, what were your key takeaways from your session today?
I think it was more about, the highlighting the importance of physical security. It was also about spreading awareness, and it was also about the skilling and reskilling of, the security, the physical security personnel. I think that was three key takeaways from this session.
Okay. So, how do you, first of all, what are the key trainings that security personnel are given, and most importantly, how do we ensure that they get the proper training?
So the key trainings that they're given is, identifying intrusion detection attempts. They are trained on physical security controls like CCTV and other, physical controls, and motivational trainings, safety trainings. I mean, these are some of the major trainings that physical security personnel are exposed to. Now, how to improve the quality of the trainings? It's more about giving them, with the advent of technology, providing them with more than basic level of training. So, for instance, you have so much data coming in with machine learning and artificial intelligence. So, at this point in time, just the basic training will not suffice. The things have changed, right? So, from 10 years, a decade back, or 2 decades back, the scenario is changing. So, today it's not just limited to what a person is carrying, those metal detectors and all those kind of things, but also, for instance, if I want to earn the trust of a person, what I would do is get a known acquaintance, crop my photo, put it there with the help of AI, and let's say I would pretend to the security person that I'm someone who is a part of the system, right? Now, these kind of things can, enhance the level of trust, okay, despite the fact that, the security personnel may not know you. So I think these situations can lead to mishappenings, some serious incidents, and I think the idea is that you train your security personnel to not have default trust factor in humans, and just help them to get a little bit better, understand the data better, right? So you see a lot of unruly behaviors happening in the last 6 months on flights and all those kind of things. So all the unruly people who have been identified, it's not the first time they would be traveling or they would be creating ruckus. They would travel over and over again. So how to identify the problematic people when they travel again? So because the idea is that you want to provide a good customer experience to passengers.
Right.
Similarly, if you are going to a cinema hall, you want to provide a good movie experience. So it's important to identify, the people who create ruckus, who have a bad profile, and I think that you can only do with the help of data that you have. When you build a profile of an individual, you need to train the guards. They are the first line of defense. Only when they can filter those things out, problems can be identified, and they will not. You will not need to. You won't find situations where things will get escalated.
Right. So, last question. You mentioned the advent of AI and machine learning.
Yeah.
Given the advent of these technologies, how are they affecting the private security sector?
How are they affecting
the private security sector?
They're affecting in a large way because we are no longer restricted to one layer of defense. You have multiple entry exit points, you have multiple gadgets, right? So with the advent of data, with the advent of more gadgets, you have more things to worry about, right? Today you could be, you could plant a bad device, you could plant a bomb with the help of a cell phone. You could do so many things, right? So I think scenarios have changed. Machine learning and AI is not only helpful for good people, but they're equally effective for bad people with bad intentions, So it's easy. What needs to be done in today's times is to build a profile of known bad actors, known people. It's only when you do that, you will be able to solve a majority of the problems. There will be instances when some things will happen, but at the end of the day, if you can train your first line of defense, at a bare minimum, they can provide an alert to the next level of authority or chain of command. So I think this is very important. We need to break the barriers between the physical security personnel and the people who are managing the digital security space, and as well as the operational security. So you would have physical security personnel with facilities team along with your cyber team. I think it has to work in unison, and that's how you will start avoiding these kind of problems. So take another example of biometrics. When somebody goes through biometric authentication, so what you do, when you look at a person who is a security personnel, like a security guard, let's say if I am a person, I could be an employee, I could be, could be a non-employee. Now in this case, there are two possibilities. The guard would have a default trust factor in my biometric system, but it's not always the case. Biometric systems can also fail. So when they fail, how would a security guard identify those kind of problems? Sometimes people with the right kind of access are not able to go through your biometric system because at the end of the day, it's a mechanical system. And those systems can fail at times. The accuracy there is no system which has got 100% accuracy rate. And I think when you look at these kind of devices which can do things, which can provide authentication, a lot of identification of humans, that can trick your first line of defense into having the belief that everything is okay. Now, sometimes these devices, so I think it's very important to have a zero trust architecture.
Okay.
And you need to not just have a zero trust architecture from a cyber perspective, but you need to have it from the tenets of physical perspective as well.
Right.
So you need to, I think it's important to combine right from the time when someone enters the premises till the time someone exits, whatever they do, you need to identify who that person is, what's the purpose, why are they trying to access. I think it's very important to identify and build a profile of such person.
Right.
That's pretty much
Right.
it.